I am crazy. Let me tell you guys who just arrived here. Here.
Hi, Ju.
Oh my goodness!
Very nice to meet you. See this guy here? He
I
said
have no words. I am speechless.
I have to surprise them.
Who are you?
With this guy. Come here.
It is a friend.
Yeah, it's a great friend.
Whoa! Are you the teacher of the day? What's up, man?
I've been great.
Good to meet you in person.
Yeah, that's it. How are you doing, man?
I heard we got. But yeah, basically that's it. I've been there for 3 years now, and I've been doing acting since then. And it's a beautiful journey, you know. It's been a professional and also spiritual path for me. You know, self-discovery wise, I feel like I've been growing a lot as a human being, not just as a professional, because you meet a lot of people. It's a very international city.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Do you work in...
First of all, introduce yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is André. I am 27 years old. I study production engineering. And I don't speak very well English. But
You're doing great.
I understand a little. And I see your video in the YouTube, in the working. It's great job, great working. You work as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a specific dream regarding to your job?
Yeah. Well, I guess every actor wants to win an Oscar, right?
Whoa.
The Oscars. So I would say that would be the ultimate goal, to get up on that stage and, you know, hold an Oscar and have my moment, you know, do my speech, my Oscar winning speech. But I guess I would say that my goal as an actor is to work as an actor. My goal is to really be working as an actor in Hollywood. So doing series or movies, or at least to be nominated, to be a nominee, you know, for certain work that I did, you know. Yeah.
Very good question. Please clap.
Say your name is
In terms of behavior, what's the difference between Brazil and the USA?
Behavior. That's a good question. I guess I would say that American people are not as warm and touchy as we are. You know, they're a little more reserved. They don't trust people as fast as we do, like right off the bat. Like when you meet someone and you start talking, like in Brazil, we're very warm and welcoming, and we're excited to meet new people. In the United States, they're very polite, very respectful, but they don't open up that fast. So it's a process. You know, you have to gain their trust. But once you become friends with that person, like it's really like you really bond with that person, you become really good friends, and they really open up to you, and you know, we become really close. But here we're warmer, we're more welcoming, I guess. Yeah, and more touchy, like I said, you know, like we like to touch and hug and kiss. They don't do that, you know. They usually, like when you don't know someone, you usually just say hi from like far away, or you just shake hands. You don't kiss, you don't hug, you know. But yeah, I guess behavior-wise, that would be the difference.
No, just Just hold.
But yeah, it's a very similar culture. And we have our own culture, but it's very similar. I guess because the world is so globalized.
Good for him. Okay, so Arthur, go ahead. You choose.
You.
That's it. Very good.
Hello, my name is Fernanda. What is your favorite place to eat in the USA?
I'm crazy about Mexican food. I really like Mexican food, and there's this place right across the street from my apartment. It's called Baja Buds. It's a little tiny traditional Mexican restaurant, and they make the best burritos. Have you ever had a burrito?
No.
Okay. Well, basically, it's like a plate of food, rice and beans and a choice of meat, and then salad and sour cream and guacamole, pico de gallo, all mixed together, wrapped in a wrap of bread. So it's really good. I guess that would be my favorite place to eat so far that I can think of, like, on the top of my head.
Okay, Arthur, feel free to
Oh,
choose.
yeah, I have to choose.
Yeah, exactly.
You.
Hello Arthur,
Hi.
my name is Igor, I am 40 years old and my place
40?
40 years
You're
old?
40 years old?
40.
Now? That's interesting because last week he was 14.
Tell me your secret.
And
Actually, he
So wait,
feels like
you're-
40 years old.
Yeah, he's a mature man.
Yeah.
You're 14.
yes, 14.
Okay, good.
And my question is, what was the worst moment of your life?
Honestly, I consider myself pretty lucky. I don't have many traumas or many bad moments of my life. I had a pretty nice childhood. Growing up was really fun. I still have all my family; they're all alive, so I can't say that I had a trauma. Like I lost someone from my family.
Just sorry to interrupt you, but I learned it from somebody here. I'm not gonna name names here. That you used to be a very messy boy, little boy.
I was a messy boy. I was hyperactive.
Okay.
So I was all over the place. I couldn't stay still for a minute. So yeah, I was all over the place. But I guess the worst moment of my life. I guess when I moved to United States to Los Angeles, I didn't have a place to live.
Wow.
So I thought it was gonna be easy to just go there and find a place, find an apartment or something that I could just rent and pay for. But it wasn't like that. I needed documents, I needed credit, so they would be able to check my credit in order for me to pay for an apartment or a place to live. And I didn't have any documents, I didn't have any of that. So I was basically homeless for 3 days. I wasn't sleeping out in the streets, thank God, but that was a moment where I basically sat down in front of Dolby Theater right on Hollywood Boulevard on
Sidewalk?
the sidewalk, not where they have the stars on the sidewalk.
That's sidewalk.
Yeah.
Fame. Hall.
Yeah,
I think
the Walk of Fame.
Walk of
Thank
Fame.
you.
Mhm.
I just sat down and I started crying because I didn't know what to do. I couldn't call my parents, I didn't have any friends there. What am I gonna do? So I guess that was the worst moment for me, where I felt completely hopeless for a moment. I didn't know what to do. So luckily, I had a friend that was living there, and I was able to connect with him, and he took me in his apartment, and I had a place to live finally. But it was like 3-4 days that I had that bad feeling, you know, what am I gonna do? So I guess that was the worst moment of my life so far. And when my first dog died.
Your dog.
When my first dog died, it was really bad too. I was young.
Okay. Next. Okay,
Sorry,
go ahead.
if you guys don't understand something and you feel like you want to ask me or ask me to speak slower, you can feel free to ask me, you know. Say, hey Arthur, can you say that again? Or can you repeat that? Or can you speak a little slower? Just feel free to ask me, okay?
Okay, very good.
You. Hi.
Oh, hi, my name is Julia.
What's your name?
Julia.
Julia, okay.
My question is, where do you see yourself in 3 years?
So that would be 2020. I have a very specific plan. Because I told myself that I'm going to be receiving my first $1 million in 2020. I promised myself that I would make my first $1 million in 2020.
You got it on video here, okay?
Yes.
Right here.
I don't know if I should be telling you guys that.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Guilherme. My nickname is Gui.
Gui.
And I am 28 years old. I study university production engineering. Yes. And I have a question for you. What will you wear on Christmas?
What am I gonna wear on Christmas? No, it's winter there. I mean, it doesn't get too cold in LA. It's kind of like here, but it gets pretty cold during the winter. Kind of like our winter. But I don't know what I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna wear jeans, boots, and an ugly sweater. You know how we have the ugly sweaters?
Ugly sweater.
You know, the Christmas sweaters. We call them ugly sweaters.
Ugly sweater. Okay.
Yeah.
Like red.
Like a reindeer or a Santa Claus face
Claus.
sweater. Or I could
Now I know why he
a
calls
Green
it.
Bay Packers one. The football team, the American football team, Green Bay Packers. No?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He knows
I'm gonna wear
Corinthians, Palmeiras, São Paulo. Yeah.
Okay, so I should say I'm gonna wear a Christmas sweater. Christmas sweater. Like you see in the movies and like that.
Yes.
You.
Wow.
My name is Raoni. I am baby English.
Nah. That's what I tell
What
them.
is it? What did you say?
Repeat it.
Like I am baby English.
Babe?
Baby.
Oh, like a baby?
That's
So
it.
you're just starting to
Exactly. That's
crawling
it.
and-
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. Well,
Tell me one nice place to visit at night in California.
a place to visit
Yes,
at night?
night here. We go to ports.
Okay. I've been there. What he meant to say is we go together.
Exactly.
Very nice place to go. Okay, so there is a very famous avenue in LA that's called Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard, and they have a lot of very traditional bars and clubs. They have the Roxy, they have the Viper Room, they have Whiskey A Go Go, which is very famous. Even here in Brazil, people know that name. And they have the Rainbow Room. The Rainbow Room is my favorite because it's very hipster, rock and roll style, but like old school, like from the 70s and 80s. And the place is completely preserved. Since they opened it, they never changed the place. So it's like you're walking into the past. You know, when you go in that place and you look around, it's like you go back in time. So it's a lot of fun, and a lot of different people. You see people of every kind. Yeah, so I guess that's my favorite place. You know, around that area, Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, very cool.
Very good.
You.
Hi, my name is Thais. One question, what was the worst moment in the USA for you?
In the USA, that I can mention, that was pretty bad. I think the first year that I was there, I kind of went into a little depression. I was depressed. I guess it's I think it was a mix of a bunch of feelings. Because I was away from my family. I wasn't very secure of what I wanted. Maybe I was thinking too hard, you know, about my career, my personal life, my personal choices. And I went into like a deep depression. So it was a very dark moment of my life. Like I would walk down the street and everything like literally seemed dark. I would look around and everything would. So I had to get out of that place because I wasn't feeling well at all. So I started extra exercise, eating.
That's it.
She's hiding.
My name is Hayani. My nickname is Hai.
Did she say Hayani?
Hayani.
Hayani.
My nickname is Hai.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, hi.
How would you describe your life?
How what?
How would you describe your life?
It's clusters of tetrahedrons
What?
in the air.
What?
I'm just
Can you
kidding.
speak English?
That's,
Yes.
That's what Jim Carrey said in one of his interviews. You know Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, yes.
Okay. That's what he said in one of his interviews.
Can you say that
He
again?
said that we're just clusters of tetrahedrons floating in the air.
Kannst du Deutsch sprechen bitte? Ich spreche
Don't ask me what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea what he
I
said.
don't know
No
what that is.
idea.
Do you speak English?
I'm trying. But I was just kidding. I was just quoting Jim Carrey because it was a very weird interview that he gave, and he was just saying like that this is nothing.
Okay.
We're nothing. We're just clusters of
Yeah,
tetrahedrons.
dusty in the air, something like this.
Dancing in the air. That's what he said. But I don't know. How would I describe my life?
Good question.
Life is good. I don't know. It's a journey, you know. You have to enjoy. You have to learn to be present in the moment, you know, because that's the only thing that belongs to us. If you think about the future, it's going to give you anxieties because it doesn't exist. If you think about the past, it's going to bring you some sort of nostalgia or sadness.
Regret, something.
Regret or some good moments that it was good, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna go back to that moment, so it's gonna give you that feeling of you're gonna start missing that moment, and you're gonna tell yourself, but I can't go back to that moment, so it's pointless. So the only thing that belongs to you is the present. And that's what the journey is. It's like staying focused and staying present in the moment. Because honestly, I can tell you guys, oh, I want to be an Oscar winner, I want to be this or that. But when you achieve a goal, it's done, And if you didn't enjoy the process, the journey, the path, then it's pointless. Because let's say, you know, it takes me 5 years to get there. And throughout the whole 5 years, I'm like anxious and I'm nervous and I'm, you know, stressed out, sometimes depressed. I'm gonna achieve that goal and I'm gonna say, okay, what do I do next? Because it's done, you know? So enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. Try to find tools that are gonna help you to be connected and be present and pay attention and look people in the eye. You know, it's so hard to do that nowadays. People don't look, you know, straight in the eyes. So yeah, that'll be my, I guess, definition of my life. How I would describe my life is trying to know myself better and better every day, and trying to stay connected, stay present, and, you know, focus and paying attention to people. All right?
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Eloisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Do you have special moments in your life? What?
Do I have special moments in my life? Of course I do. Everybody has special moments. And what? Today's a very special moment for me. Honestly, this is really cool.
Before you answer, have you ever had a situation like this? You're like in the spotlight and
Oh,
really? Yeah,
I
first
don't know. I
Even
mean,
in the US?
I've done theater, I've done acting classes, you know, and I never had like a
Really?
whole class like just asking me questions. I feel like I don't know.
It's really
I don't even know how I describe it.
You're getting you ready for the next
Yes.
press interview.
Thank you.
That's it.
Awesome. Okay. It's called AFI. And they were casting for this role of a rock star. So I had to play this rock star. So I had to dress up like a rock star. I had my hair long, and I had an earring. You know, I put a bunch of accessories. And I went into the room, and I was super nervous because it was my very first audition. But it went great. You know, there were 3 casting directors. They were all women, and I had to dance. They asked me to samba and stuff. A little samba.
You presented this.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I had a callback, which is like a second audition, because there were a lot of people auditioning for that role. Because it was a small project, but it was a high budget short film. So she spent a lot of money making that short film. So it was a lot of people auditioning for it. So I had a callback, and I had to go in again and audition again for it. So it was kind of a long process. So it was fun. And then right after my callback, like 5 minutes after I was walking out of the building, they called me. They're like, "Hey Arthur, we really like you. We would like you to play the role."
Nice.
So they gave me the role, and I was like, yes. It was my first paid acting job.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a great moment. I felt like a movie star.
Yes.
Next step is the Oscars.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it goes in your mind, you know. But yeah, it was great.
Hi, my name is William.
William?
My name is William.
William.
William Shakespeare.
William.
I
To
am,
be or not to be.
oh yeah. I am 28 years old. I am production engineer.
Okay. Do you guys study together?
Yes.
No, I
Production engineer?
My question is about death penalty.
Oh, death penalty.
Yes.
That's a serious subject, you know?
What do you think about death penalty? And what do you think it is work here in Brazil?
And I don't feel in a place to sentence anybody to die. You know, I feel that it's very heavy. I don't know if that would be I don't think that would be the solution for our problems, you know. Like I said, I don't feel like no man should sentence another man to die. I know there are like criminals out there, people that do horrible things. I'm not defending those people. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be punished for their crimes. But I don't know. Death penalty is something very, very, it's a deep subject. We would have to talk a long time to, you know, to understand if that would be a good thing or a bad thing for society in general. But like I said, I don't feel in the position to. I don't think any man should be in the position to sentence another man to die. You know.
My question is about this because United States work.
In some states.
Some states.
In some California, there's no death penalty. I don't think so, or maybe there is. I don't know. But some states they have death penalty. Some states they don't. And sometimes if you look at the how can I say, like the criminality.
Yeah.
Criminal scale. I don't know. I don't think it's that different, you know. I think it's more of a cultural thing.
Because in Brazil, don't have the sentence.
We don't have death penalty, no.
But that's the prison. It's correct, teacher.
Prison?
Prison. Prisons are a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yes. I think don't have the sentence. For is it don't have how can I say
Respect.
for liars.
Law.
For
Respect. Wow.
Don't have fear.
Yeah.
They don't fear the
They
law.
don't fear the law. Yeah, because there's no law enforcement, and well, it's a very difficult topic.
It's a topic to
Yeah.
But
we start here. Yes.
I think, like I said, it's more of a cultural thing and how the law system works.
Oh, let's go.
How many countries did you visit?
How many countries? I've been in like 3 countries. I haven't been to too many countries. I've been to Canada, and I've been to Uruguay, and United States. That's it. But I've been United States is huge. It's a big country. So I've traveled around the United States quite a bit. I've been to Florida. I've been, you know, to the West Coast. I haven't been to the East Coast, like New York, South Carolina, North Carolina. But I've been to Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Illinois, Tennessee. I've been to Utah, and all those states that I showed you across.
Yes, sir.
You know, all the way to California, Nevada, Colorado. Yeah. But yeah, those are the 3 countries that I've been: Uruguay, Canada, and the United States, and Brazil.
And Brazil. That's it. Don't forget.
Me? Hi, my name is Elaine. The question for you
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
What makes you happy?
Very good question.
Well, I'm gonna go deep in this one. What is happiness? what is happiness? That's something that I work on every day. Like, what are the things that make me happy? Like, what is the definition of happiness? I'm not gonna say I know for sure what the definition of happiness is, because we're constantly changing. I believe we're walking metamorphosis, I guess. We're constantly changing. You know, your opinion today might not be your opinion tomorrow. You might learn something new that's gonna change your perspective and your opinion on life or on anything. So I learned, for me at least, happiness, I rely my happiness on the essential things in life, the things that I consider essential, which is my family, my friends, my belief, my faith, my health, you know, my physical body, because it's, you know, the tool that allows me to live this experience, which is life. So I rely my happiness on those things, you know, and also, you know, love, compassion, tolerance, empathy, you know, the ability to put yourself on other people's shoes. I don't know if they're gonna understand that. You know, on other people's place.
The ability to make it simple, the ability to understand other people.
Yeah,
when you understand the other person's situation.
So, yeah, I feel like that's happiness. And self-knowledge. The more you know yourself, the more comfortable you feel with yourself, and the more present you feel. And you're not in your head all the time. Because when you're confused, when you're lost, when you don't know yourself, you're in your head a lot. You're thinking, constantly thinking, and it's exhausting, you know? Yeah, so that's happiness for me, you know?
Very good. Thank you, Elena.
Yeah.
Very good.